Hello, people of the internet. It's me again. I am back, but this time in a different location. We're back in Maryland, back in the house where I grew up. And today we're going to be talking about the AFC and NFC playoff picture. And well, specifically making predictions for the Wildcard Weekend. Now, the first game that we're going to talk about here is the game between the Colts and the Texans. Yeah, it got pretty crappy helmets up here. Now, obviously, this game is the third matchup. Was the third matchup between these two teams this year. And honestly, when I think about it, I haven't really thought about the score yet. But I'm thinking about the score right now, and I'm thinking it's probably going to end up something like this, probably like 27-23 or something like that. And I think the Colts are going to win that one. Why do I think the Colts are going to win? Well, pretty much, and this would solidify the matchup with the Chiefs next week if they do win, because they will be the lowest seed. They are the 6th seed. It will eliminate the 3rd seed Texans if they do win. I don't think the Colts are underdogs here. I think they're just playing better than the Texans right now. I think it's going to be a close game. I do recognize the Texans are really good. I don't know who won the other two matchups. I don't know. And as you can see behind me, I'm very happy right now because the next game that we're going to be talking about, which is going to be Ravens and Chargers. I'm a big Ravens fan. But I'm going to try to look at that game with some non-bias. But back to the Texans-Colts game. I think the Colts win that game just because they've been playing better than the Texans have as of late. And yes, the Texans are a very talented team. Every team in the playoffs is a very talented team. But I just don't see the Texans really winning this game. They won their division. They beat the Colts in the division. But I just don't see them winning this game just because of what's been happening as of late. So next game we're going to talk about the game that I'll be focusing on the most, obviously, Ravens and Chargers. Now, the Ravens won their division. The Chargers did not. The Chargers technically have a better record than the Ravens, but because the Ravens won the division, it will be at Ravens Stadium. And I believe the Ravens are going to win this week, not just because I'm a Ravens fan, but because, they beat the Chargers in Los Angeles. I mean, that doesn't have a factor in this game. They beat them in LA, and now they're going to have to play in Baltimore. Honestly, with the way the Ravens have been playing in the last few games, which one of them was against the Chargers, I didn't want this game to happen. I wanted the Ravens to either play against the Colts or Texans. I was wishing this game would be like a champion. I was hoping this would be the championship game, the AFC championship, if anything, because I think the Ravens can make the championship game, the AFC championship. I don't know about the Super Bowl, but I think they can at least make it there. And if they do win against the Chargers, which I think they will by a very slim margin, I'll say something like 27-24. I don't know. I could see the Ravens winning 27-24. I don't really see Lamar Jackson getting over 30 points on the Chargers, but you never know. I just think the Ravens win this game because their defense is so good. And they stopped the Chargers' high-powered attack last time they played. And that was in LA, and the Ravens are playing at home. The Ravens have a huge home field advantage. Lamar Jackson's been playing well. Everything's looking good for the Ravens right now. I just don't see the Chargers winning that game. So if this does happen, that would set up a Ravens-Patriots matchup for the divisional round, which if that does happen, we'll talk about next week, and a Colts and Chiefs matchup for the divisional round as well. Now, I could be totally wrong with these picks. This is not guaranteed for what would happen, but that's just what I think is going to happen. Next game, that's the AFC. So next game we're going to talk about is the Bears-Eagles game. Now, this game is probably one of the least interesting games in the playoffs, I think. but it should be an interesting game. I think the Eagles are going to win it, though. I trust in at least playoff Nick Foles. Nick Foles has been playing as well as anyone out there. I like the Trubisky God. I like Trubisky because it's just for meme's sake. He is the Trubisky God. But honestly, I think the Eagles are going to come out on top. I think it's going to be a pretty middling scoring game. I think it's probably going to be like something like, I don't know, maybe like 24-17 or something. I don't know. I could see the Eagles winning like 24-17 on like a last-minute touchdown or something. The Eagles are 6th seed, so that would put them up against the Saints, who are the number 1 seed, I think. I'm pretty sure they are the 1 seed. That would eliminate the Bears. And I just think the Eagles are playing so well right now that even though the Bears are probably a more talented team, if you will, I think they're still going to lose to the Eagles. Now into the last game that's happening this week. I don't know if it's the last in order chronologically. It probably is because it features the Cowboys and their America's team. But, yeah, so it's the Cowboys and the Seahawks. Now, this game, I think it happened in the regular season. I think the Seahawks won, if I'm correct. I'm not sure if that's right. That might be wrong. I'm pretty sure. I think this game did happen in the regular season. But that is completely out of the question now. It's going to be in the Cowboys Stadium. That might make things a little bit more interesting. Dak plays really well at home. But the Seahawks are a really, really good team. Russell Wilson has playoff experience. Dak did play well last time the Cowboys made the playoffs. I think it's going to come down to not Dak, but Zeke. Whether Zeke plays well in this game or not, whether he gets over 100 yards or not. If the Cowboys get over 100 yards, which is going to be hard to do against Seattle's defense, I think they win. And honestly, I think the Cowboys are probably just... I'm going to call this one for the Cowboys. This is a tough pick. This is probably the most interesting game this week, which is a weird thing for me to say considering I'm a Ravens fan. But honestly, I just think that the Ravens game, since it happened like the Chargers-Ravens game that's this week, happened literally 2 weeks ago. I think this is a more interesting game. I think it's going to be like a 34 to like 31 game. And I think the Cowboys about to get it. I'm picking the Cowboys mostly because of the fact that they're at home. And that would put them up against the Rams, I believe. I might have that a little bit backwards, but I'm pretty sure it would put them up against the Rams because the Eagles would go up against the Saints. And so that means that if this happens the way that I think it will, it's going to be Ravens-Patriots, Chiefs-Colts, which that would be a great game right there. Patrick Mahomes versus Andrew Luck, potentially. Oh, and this, I think if this does happen, I would be very excited for this, because that would put Lamar Jackson up against Tom Brady, and that would be great. There's a lot of good matchups, potentially. None of these are final, obviously. We have to see what happens this week. And then that would lead to a Saints-Eagles game. That would be a great game, I think. I think if this lineup happens the way I predict it will, all the games will be great, and Rams and Cowboys for next week. Those are my predictions for next week's games. But of course, we can't predict next week because we don't even know if any of that will happen. It could be completely opposite. I don't think it's going to be completely opposite. I know I'm probably going to get I'm going to get at least one of these picks right. That's the goal. I think my best pick is probably the Colts pick. My second best pick is honestly probably the Cowboys pick, and then Ravens, and probably Eagles. I feel the least confident on the Eagles just because of the fact that the Bears are a really good team, and they have a really good defense. But it's hard to pick against the Eagles when they just whooped up on the Redskins like 24-0. You know, that's a shutout. I know the Redskins were pretty banged up, but still, a shutout is hard to do in the NFL, and especially like 24-0 shutout too. It was bad. But yeah, I don't know. This is a very tough playoffs to call. All playoff games are tough to call. But this is gonna be an interesting one. Alright guys, peace out. Remember, give this video a like if you liked it. Maybe go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next week. Also, I might have another kind of fun treat video coming out next week as well. We'll see. We'll see. I might be working on something special. I'm not sure when it's gonna come out yet though. I am working on something special. I'm not sure when it's gonna come out yet, but I'll see you guys next week for the divisional round. We'll see how many picks I got right. Bye.